Have you ever stood in the grocery aisle, staring at the egg cartons, wondering if you should splurge on the brown ones? Are brown eggs really healthier, tastier, or just plain better than white eggs? It's a debate that's been around for ages, and today, we're cracking it wide open. We're going to dive into the genetics behind egg color, why brown eggs often cost more, and whether there's any real difference in taste or nutrition. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which eggs to choose and why. Let's get started. So, what's the simple answer to the big egg color question? It all comes down to the chicken. That's right, the color of an eggshell is determined purely by the breed and genetics of the hen that laid it. Generally speaking, chickens with white feathers and white earlobes, like the white leghorn, lay white eggs. On the other hand, chickens with reddish-brown feathers and red earlobes, such as the Rhode Island Red or Plymouth Rock, lay brown eggs. There are even some breeds, like the Araucana, that lay blue or green eggs. The pigment that colors the shell is called protoporphyrin X, and it's derived from hemoglobin in the blood. For brown eggs, this pigment is deposited on the shell late in the laying process. For white eggs, there's simply no pigment deposited at all. So, the color is just shell deep. It's a matter of genetics, not quality. Now, let's talk about money. Why do brown eggs almost always have a higher price tag? This has led many people to believe they must be superior in some way, maybe organic or free range. But the truth is much simpler and has to do with economics. The breeds of hens that lay brown eggs are typically larger than the breeds that lay white eggs. A bigger chicken requires more food and more space. This means the cost for the farmer to raise and care for these brown egg-laying hens is higher. They eat more, their housing costs can be greater, and all these extra production expenses get passed on to you, the consumer, at the grocery store. It's not about the egg itself being more valuable. It's about the higher cost of the chicken that laid it. So you're essentially paying for the hen's bigger appetite. Okay, but what about the inside? Is a brown egg packed with more nutrients than a white egg? This is where the myth really gets debunked. Numerous scientific studies have been conducted to compare the nutritional content of brown and white eggs, and the results are consistently clear. There is no significant nutritional difference between them. An egg is an egg. Both brown and white eggs are fantastic sources of high-quality protein. Vitamins like D and B12, and essential minerals like selenium and choline. A large egg, regardless of its color, will have about 70 calories, 6 grams of protein, and a similar profile of fats, vitamins, and minerals. What really affects an egg's nutritional value is the hen's diet and living conditions. For example, eggs from pasture-raised hens might have higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E, but that's because of their diet, not the color of their shell. So if they're the same nutritionally, maybe brown eggs just taste better. Many people swear they can taste a difference. But in blind taste tests, most people can't tell brown and white eggs apart. The flavor of an egg is almost entirely determined by the hen's diet and the freshness of the egg, not the shell color. A hen fed a diet rich in corn will produce eggs with a richer, darker yolk and a creamier taste. A hen that eats a more varied diet might produce eggs with a different flavor profile. Freshness is the other key factor. A fresh egg, regardless of color, will have a firm yolk that stands up high and a thick white, and it will simply taste better than an older egg where the yolk and white have started to thin out. So, if you think brown eggs taste better, you might actually be preferring eggs from a farm where the hens have a specific diet, or you're just getting fresher eggs. One last thing to consider is shell strength. Have you ever felt like brown egg shells are harder to crack? This is another common perception, but again, it's not related to the color. The thickness and strength of an eggshell are determined by the age of the hen. Younger hens tend to lay eggs with harder, thicker shells, while older hens lay larger eggs with shells that can be a bit thinner and more fragile. Since a flock of hens on a farm are all generally the same age, You might find that a whole carton of eggs seems to have thicker or thinner shells, but this will happen with both white and brown eggs. It's all about the age of the chicken, not its breed or the color of the egg it produces. So, to wrap it all up, the color of an eggshell is just a matter of chicken genetics. It has no bearing on the egg's nutritional value, taste, or quality. The higher price of brown eggs is due to the larger size and greater feed consumption of the hens that lay them. When you're at the store, the best advice is to choose your eggs based on freshness. Check the date on the carton and your budget. Whether you pick brown or white, you're getting a nutritious and delicious food. So, save your money unless you just really prefer the look of brown eggs in your fridge. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more food facts and myth busting. See you in the next one.